Hello and welcome back to my YouTube, or hi and welcome if you're new here. My name is Chloe Swift. I'm a professional hairstylist and hair care expert. Today, I was actually sitting this morning thinking, what am I going to do my YouTube about? And I was having a lot of thoughts. I've got so many things on my list. Then I actually got a parcel this morning, which was a collab between Cloud9 and Living Proof. So they have sent me, this is Living Proof's brand new High Shine Gloss, which I have already used in my morning hair wash today. And then I've been sent the Cloud9 Airshot Pro. So yeah, that's what we are going to do today in our video, and I'm going to be showing you how to create a salon bouncy blow dry on yourself. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is my first time using the Airshot, yeah, it's called the Airshot Pro. The Airshot Pro, this is what it looks like. My first impression, it looks really, really nice. I really like the colour. It's called Midnight Blue. This is the nozzle. Let's see how this attaches on. I'm guessing that is the back and that is the front. Magnetic attachment. Really nice. And then let me just see. Hopefully there is a diffuser in here as well. So when you do want to wear your hair, wave your curly. Let's see what's in here. Not sure what they are. Yes, there is a little diffuser. Look at that. So cute. Okay, let's take off this attachment and then pop that one on. Really nice. But today we are going to be doing a smooth bouncy blowout, so I'm going to be using this attachment. Okay, let me turn it on. Okay, the hold button down. We have 3 heat settings and then 3 power settings. Okay, so that's your lowest power setting, and then you have high heat, medium heat, and then a cool heat. And then to turn it off and on, I think you need to just hold that down, and I think that's probably to stop as you're using it, kind of accidentally turning it on and off. So to start, I've already popped in some products just because those of you who know me know I like to use a lot of products. If your hair is kind of not doing what you want it to do, if it's not holding, if it's dropping, and you're literally only using it a pea-sized amount of product, honestly, don't talk to me. I advocate so much about just using so many products. You need to use products to kind of get into your hair and tell your hair what you want it to do. So to stop boring you, I've already popped in 3 products. So I've already popped in the Colour Wow Dream Coat Spray. This is going to help to tame the hair, tame any frizz. It contains heat protection and get that nice smooth controlled result, because I do have quite a lot of fluff and frizz to my hair. Next, I've popped in the Virtue, and this is a plumping thickening cream, but it's also really protecting and hydrating, and it protects from heat. So I've popped that one in, and that smells amazing. It smells quite spa-like and a bit lemony. Then I've also popped in the Kerastars Elixir Oil, one of my favourite oils, really hydrating, adds the shine and nourishes the hair. I've done 2 pumps of that. So they have already gone in, those 3 products. They're kind of more what I would say is hair care. Now I'm going to pop in the styling, so the things that actually kind of give you that hold and grip and volume. So going in first of all with the Maria Neela volume spray. I absolutely love this spray because it's so lightweight and it kind of comes out like an aerosol spray, so you have a lot more control over it. But just section your hair and spray this directly into the roots. It smells absolutely amazing. It smells like quite sweet, and when I was using this on my client's hair the other day, everyone was like, oh my god, what is that product? It smells amazing. I think if you had fine hair, you would really get on with this one because it's not heavy or sticky or anything like that. And then next we are going in with the Colour Wow Extra Large. So if I'm doing a proper bouncy blow dry, like a salon blow dry, I will always want to pop in a product like this, a foam or a mousse for getting that nice big bouncy voluminous hair. And I'm going to focus this one more so on like the mid-lengths and ends because I've already popped in the Maria Neela at the roots. First up, what you want to do, my hair is already drying on the ends, which is fine, but it's still probably a little bit too wet throughout here. So what I'm going to do is just pop on my dryer and then just go in and take out a little bit of this excess moisture first before we section and then start our actual blow dry. obviously don't over dry it at this stage. We just want just damp hair. Now I'm going to section, and I'm going to use these really nice big chunky clips which K18 sent me. Now my first section is going to be level with the tops of the ears. So just taking your fingers like that, and then they join at the back of the head, and then you just want to separate the hair. So now, choice of brush, I'm using a brush called Ergo, a brush which is specially designed for long hair, or especially hair extensions, because the bristles are so, you can see they're kind of like a little bit squiggly, but they're really soft and flexible, so they're not like harsh and they don't pull on long hair. And this is like a small medium round brush. Basically, the smaller you go with your round brush, you're going to see a bit more root lift and a bit more movement and kind of shape in the ends. The larger you go with your round brush, yes, it might be easier to kind of glide through your hair, but you're going to get a lot less root lift and movement. So if you do want kind of more of a salon bouncy blow dry, I would always opt for, it is medium size, but it's on the smaller end of medium size, if that makes any sense. What you're going to want to do with this first section of hair, I like to use for these bottom ones to keep kind of a bit of length, a retained length on the bottom sections. We're going in vertical with our brush. So going vertical, wrap one full rotation around your brush. And now, because we've taken out a lot of the moisture already, we're going to go up to a high heat with our settings. So turn it on, go up to high heat, but I'm going to stay on a medium speed so it's not out of control. And you want to focus right at the root, make sure all of that's dry, and then you're gliding down to the ends. When you've reached the ends, I'd probably just go back in and then replace it at the root again. So dry the root. Really focus on the root, because the root is the thicker area which takes longer to dry. And now this time when we're down at the ends, I'm going to wrap all the way back up to the top. What you can do here is go down to your cool setting and give it a little bit of a cool blast. It's not that cool, to be honest with you, but it is definitely not as hot. Turn your dryer off, and then you just want to pinch the roots, so you're kind of not pulling the hair, and then unravel that brush out of the hair. And we have our first section. And then what we're going to do is pin curl all of these, because obviously it wouldn't be a proper salon blow dry without pinning all of the hair, and that's just to make sure we're giving it the best chance of kind of being bouncy and voluminous, because we're letting it set in that shape. So fingers behind the hair, then just wrap the hair around your fingers, pop your pin through that hair, and there we go, there's our first pin. And we're going to do the exact same on the other side. What I like to do is also switch hands. So on this side, I was holding the brush in this hand, dryer in this hand, my right hand. I'm going to swap over on this side. Anything I do on one side, if you can then do the complete opposite on the other side, is actually so much easier, and it's basically then the exact same technique that you're doing. I've actually just learned that if you hold down the temperature button, if you just hold it down completely, then the temperature goes off completely, and then it is fully cool air, which is really good, because I was thinking the lowest heat isn't cool enough to like set it into shape. There's technically 3 heat settings, and then also a cool shot setting where it is completely cold air. Barrel curling and pin curling around the fingers. So I just do it around 2 fingers. You don't want to do it too tight, or else you're kind of like adjusting the shape of your curl there. Pop a pin through. And there we go, our first 2 little barrel curls in. Next section is going to be level with the eyebrows. Like 2 side sections, and now we're going to have a little back section, whereas the first, kind of your first underneath rows, because your head kind of tapers in and it's narrow at the back, you can get away with just 2 chunky big sections and just bring them forward. But now we're going to have 1 back one and 2 side pieces. bounce we've got on that piece. So again, fingers behind that. And you want to make sure you are barrel curling in the same direction that you've actually been blow drying. One thing I will say, this is such a light dryer. It's really enjoyable to use so far and just so user friendly, I would say. The only thing that's probably taken a little bit longer is when I like to start and stop it in between, so then I can like put my pins in. Yeah, you just have to hold down this on off button. You have to hold it down. There's the kind of no just super quick way to turn it on and off, but that's maybe my only little criticism so far. It's a little bit of a combination of just feeling and guessing where the back is. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit trial and error at the back, to be honest. So you don't end up with a completely like flat back of the head. Okay, next section is going to be around about recession point. And I feel like we're working through this so quickly, but when you are blow drying hair and doing a proper blow dry, you do just need to work on damp hair. There's honestly no point in working from soaking wet, sorry, because it will just take so long to dry and your hair actually won't be able to change shape. It can't change shape from its alpha keratin, which is kind of natural form, to its beta keratin, the shape that you've then kind of changed it into. It can't even change that until the hair is already kind of 80% dry. So you should only be working on like a 20% dampness level. Curling these ones 2 fingers behind the hair, because now we are going for that real root lift on the top. Okay, this is what we're left with on the top, and that is going to be too large to go through with our brush. So you gauge that by kind of just pop the brush on the top, and if the sides overspill, obviously how wide your brush is, then that's not going to work. So what I am going to do is just take a little section out of each side. Using my clip, I'm going to do one there, I'm going to do one there, and I'm going to make these into 2 side sections before we then work on this top row, and just do that up in a nice little bun so it stays out of your way. And the difference now with these side sections, before we were holding the brush vertically, but now I want to go in horizontally just to make sure I'm still getting a nice bit of root lift on the top here. So I'm going to go in horizontally, and I want my brush to be pointing towards the mirror, and that will make sure then the curl goes away from the face. And then yeah, real key trick when you are barrel curling these top ones, you see how when it's so high up barrel curled and you can literally see straight through it, so you're going to get maximum amount of root lift here because you're leaving it to cool and set in that shape. Whereas if you kind of do, I guess this one here isn't as kind of up on top of itself, so you're going to get less root lift there. It's kind of dragging down a little bit. And then same again on this side, so brush in this hand, brush pointing towards your mirror, the brush end, and then we're coming up for that root lift. We want to do now is just work in rows and have everything going backwards if you do want the ultimate root lift and the ultimate salon blow dry feel. don't know if you could see there, but quite a few of my like shorter, newer hairs were falling out, whether it's layers or yeah, new hair growth. So yeah, when they do fall out, just try and kind of introduce them back in and around the brush and just kind of, yeah, scoop them up. Okay, very last section now. There we go, pin curls all in. Now what we want to do, let me spray it with some hairspray, and we want to leave it to cool down and completely set. I'm going to use the Kevin Murphy light session hairspray. It's a really nice, just lightweight hold. You don't want anything too heavy at this point because you don't want to kind of weigh down all that volume that you just kind of set and popped into the hair. So spray this all throughout. The one thing I will say when you are doing a proper salon big bouncy blowout, don't expect a miracle if you've only got like 10 minutes, and especially if you're new to kind of doing this. So I would allow plenty of time so you don't get hot, you don't get flustered. This has probably taken me 20 minutes, I want to say, and this is what my barrel curls look like at the back. I'm not sure how neat they are, but it's enough just to get a bit of root lift in at the back. Now, time for the best bit. We're going to be taking out the pin curls. Just look at the difference that makes. You literally need to be setting your blow dry in pin curls. So voluminous. So now what I want to do to dress it out, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of oil, the elixir oil again, and then I'm just gonna rake my fingers through and see what that's like before I take like a comb or anything through it. So just a little drop. Look at that volume. That is crazy, that volume. I literally love it. Guys, I am so happy with this result. I'm honestly blown away. The volume is on another level to the point where I'm like raking my hands through it, but it's still just bouncing up and like it's sitting just so high on my head. This is literally the perfect 90s voluminous bouncy blow dry. And I definitely think the key products which have got the volume in for us are Maria Neela volume spray, and then the Colour Wow extra large, the bombshell or volumizer. But the main thing also is that my hair honestly just feels so soft. Hopefully you can kind of almost be able to tell that through the camera. It's so soft, it doesn't feel sticky or anything. It honestly doesn't feel like I've put loads and loads of products. Honestly, don't let products put you off. So long as you've got the right products, it's gonna work and do what you want it to do basically. But yeah, I love this result. I can't figure out if it looks better this side or this side. I don't know, I'll keep playing with it. So impressed, and I definitely feel like it's got an amazing shine to the hair, which is probably my gloss, but also just the hairdryer itself. So let's touch on the Cloud9 Airshot Pro. This is actually an amazing hairdryer, and I've not used Cloud9 products for honestly years. Even though this was a magnetic nozzle, it didn't once fall off, the hair didn't get caught in between, in the middle, which I know sometimes can happen. You get like a few little hairs caught in the middle. I think the design is so sleek. I mean, just look at that filter. You haven't got that kind of ugly grill back where kind of all hair and dust collects. I think it's so sleek and so small. I mean, compared to my head, it is quite small, and it is just very lightweight, and I love the colour, love the design, not super loud either. I think the only thing for me, just how I like to turn on and off the dryer, you just have to hold that down like a couple seconds, but honestly it's not really an issue. That's just the one thing that took a bit more getting used to for me. I am so impressed. I am really recommending this dryer. Let me find out how much it is. It does retail at £299, so it is a considerable amount of money, but honestly, I mean, look at this result, and I do really rave about this. I've got don't really have a bad word to say about it, so I do think that's worth it. It's just like easy to use, and yeah, you get an incredible result with it. So yeah, please let me know what you think, guys, and if you learned anything from this video or really enjoyed it, I'd love it if you could give it a thumbs up below and subscribe for lots more hair tutorials and hair care content, and I'll be seeing you next week. Comment down below and let me know anything else you would love to see or any questions you may have. But yeah, I'll be seeing you next week. Bye guys.